In the run-up to Christmas 2002, the BBC were deciding what fun and merriment to put in their traditional fun-packed festive episode of EastEnders. They were also going about making another Hound of the Baskervilles adaptation. The main problem with this movie is with the cast. I can't help feeling the decisions for the casting in this movie involve picking names out of a hat. For a start, there's Sherlock Holmes himself. Well, what is there to say about him? He has absolutely no charisma or on-screen presence whatsoever, and the storyline does him absolutely no favours whatsoever. He beats up cabbies. He suits up in public toilets. He falls into the Grimpen Mire, making a complete spectacle of himself in the process. He apparently can't tell the difference between the hugely built escaped convict Selden and the somewhat mousy Sir Henry. Dr. Watson fares no better. He looks and comes across as the sort of person you'd expect to see hanging around street corners with a suitcase full of dodgy watches. By far the best actor in this movie is Richard E. Grant as Stapleton. He outshines, outclasses, upstages Holmes in every scene they have together, despite the fact that he is so obviously the villain from the word go.
His friends call him Easer and he is the main geezer and he vibe out the place like no other man could.
You just can't help wondering whether he wouldn't have worked better as Holmes himself. There's no harm in making changes to an adaptation, but this just feels desperate. It's over-the-top melodrama, more suited to the BBC's dreadful EastEnders than a Holmes mystery thriller. In fact, I would even go so far as to say that this feels like something that now seems to be commonplace. Basically the destruction or the bastardisation of a well-loved fictional hero. In fact, it just leads you to question whether it was really a good idea to make yet another adaptation of a story that's already been adapted to death. In fact, the BBC themselves did a much better version 20 years previously, starring Tom Baker. And as for the Hound itself, well, what is it exactly? It looks like some kind of weird, prehistoric monster. If you want to watch Hound of the Baskervilles, then you'd be better off watching the Ian Richardson version, the Peter Cushing Hammer Horror version, or the Jeremy Brett version. There's also the Basil Rathbone version, a bit creaky now, but still a good version. As for this adaptation, to be honest, even the alleged comedy version with Dudley Moore was better.